the heart of the mystery, protagonists in cozy mysteries. Hello there, Victoria L.K. Williams here, welcoming you to today's episode of Sun, Sand, and Stories. Today we're focusing on the very heart and soul of every cozy mystery, our amateur sleuths. These extraordinarily ordinary people invite us into their charming worlds and guide us through puzzling crimes with intelligence, humor, and heart. So, settle in with your favorite beverage, perhaps with a pet curled nearby, just like so many of our fictional detectives enjoy. And let's explore what makes cozy mystery protagonists so wonderfully engaging and enduring. You know, when I first created Megan Cassidy for my Citrus Beach Mystery series, I wanted to craft a protagonist readers would happily follow from book to book. Someone relatable yet resourceful, with both vulnerabilities and strengths. Our amateur sleuths are truly the secret ingredient that makes cozy mysteries so deliciously addictive. Unlike hard-boiled detectives with their world-weary cynicism or police procedural heroes with their institutional backing, cozy protagonists solve crimes with everyday resources, sharp intellect, and deep community connections. They're not weighed down by alcoholism or dark pasts, though they may have experienced loss or setbacks. Instead, they approach mysteries with optimism and determination, making readers cheer them on, book after book. Let's explore what makes these characters so compelling, with examples from beloved series that have captured readers' hearts. First and foremost, cozy protagonists tend to be everyday people with distinctive skills or interests that inform their detective work. Emma from The Return to Citrus Beach is a promotional and graphic designer whose client list gives her access to a wide range of people within Citrus Beach. This specialized knowledge approach appears throughout the genre. In Diane Mott Davidson's Culinary Mysteries, caterer Goldie Schultz uses her food expertise and access to various social circles through her catering business. In Jen McKinley's Library Lovers Mysteries, librarian Lindsay Norris applies research skills and literary knowledge to solve crimes. Kate Carlisle's Bibliophile Mysteries feature Brooklyn Wainwright, whose book restoration expertise helps her notice details and inconsistencies that lead to solving murders connected to rare books. These specialized skills serve multiple purposes. They give our amateur sleuths plausible investigative advantages, create series themes that attract readers with similar interests, and provide natural reasons for our protagonists to encounter crimes across multiple books. Second, cozy mystery protagonists often find themselves in transitional periods that make their amateur investigating feasible. In my Beach House Mysteries, Morgan arrives in town after a summons from her aunt, giving her both motivation to build new connections and the freedom to invest without established community ties, holding her back. Jessica Ellicott's Beryl and Edwina Mysteries feature two single women in post-World War I England who start a private inquiry agency, partly out of financial necessity after finding themselves at loose ends. Their different backgrounds, Beryl's worldly adventures and Edwina's proper village upbringing, create both tension and complementary skills. Ellery Adams' Book Retreat Mysteries star Jane Stewart, a widow raising twins, who manages a resort for book lovers. Her personal transition mirrors her professional one, as she discovers the resort harbors secret literary societies and requires her to develop detective skills to protect guests and family. These transitional states explain why our protagonists have both the time and motivation to investigate, rather than leaving matters entirely to authorities. They're establishing themselves in communities, rebuilding after setbacks, or discovering new aspects of their identities. Journeys readers relate to, even without the added murder mysteries. Third, cozy protagonists possess a strong moral center and sense of justice that drives their investigations. In my Hibiscus Cove series, Storm feels compelled to seek truth, not for glory or professional advancement, but because her innate sense of fairness can't let injustice stand, especially when it affects her growing circle of friends. Louise Penny's Inspector Gamache series, though it features a professional detective rather than an amateur sleuth, exemplifies this moral core through Gamache's compassionate approach and philosophical depth. His famous question to new officers, "Tell me what you know," reflects the humility and openness that characterizes the best cozy protagonists. Laura Child's Tea Shop Mysteries feature Theodosia Browning, whose commitment to her Charleston community drives her to investigate when crimes threaten its harmony. Her sense of responsibility extends beyond her immediate circle to embrace the historical district where her tea shop resides, reflecting the community-mindedness common in cozy heroines. Fourth, cozy mystery protagonists are typically intelligent, observant, and intuitive, but not necessarily trained investigators. Their amateur status requires them to develop creative approaches to evidence gathering and witness interviews. In my Milo's Garden mystery, Anna uses her knowledge of local plants and gardening clients' routines to notice inconsistencies others might miss. She doesn't have access to forensic labs or police databases, so she relies on observation and personal connections instead. Joanne Fluke's Hannah Swenson delivers baked goods throughout her Minnesota town, using cookie deliveries as natural opportunities to question suspects and gather information. This approachable method yields results professional investigators might miss, as people speak more freely to the local baker than to uniformed officers. Sophie Kelly's Magical Cats Mysteries feature librarian Kathleen Paulson, whose observational skills are augmented by her mysteriously talented cats. While the cat's abilities add paranormal elements, Kathleen's own intelligence and persistence drive the investigations forward. Fifth, the most beloved cozy protagonists possess a relatable blend of strengths and imperfections. They're competent in their professional lives, but might struggle with personal relationships, family dynamics, or self-confidence. In Jen McKinley's Cupcake Bakery Mysteries, Melanie Cooper excels at baking, but navigates romantic uncertainty and business challenges throughout the series. These vulnerabilities make her crime-solving abilities more impressive while keeping her relatable. Jana DeLeon's Misfortune series features CIA assassin Fortune Redding, hiding in small-town Louisiana, creating fish-out-of-water comedy as her specialized skills must be adapted to civilian life. Her professional competence contrasts with her social awkwardness, creating both humor and character development opportunities. In my own writing, I've found that giving protagonists specific fears or blind spots creates both narrative tension and growth opportunities. When Morgan in my Beach House series must confront her fear of deep water to solve a seaside mystery, her personal triumph parallels her investigative success. Now, let's turn to paranormal cozies, where protagonists maintain these relatable qualities while adding supernatural abilities or connections that enhance their sleuthing. Juliet Blackwell's Witchcraft Mystery Series features Lily Ivory, a witch who can sense vibrations from vintage clothing and uses familiar spirits to assist her investigations. Despite her magical abilities, Lily remains fundamentally human in her motivations and vulnerabilities, particularly her longing for community after years of isolation due to her gifts. Heather Blake's Wishcraft Mystery Series stars Darcy Merriweather, who discovers her wish-granting abilities as an adult and must navigate a magical community while solving crimes affecting both crafters and ordinary humans. Her journey of magical self-discovery parallels her development as an investigator. Bailey Kate's Magical Bakery Mysteries feature Katie Lightfoot, whose hedge witch abilities enhance her baking and her detective work. Katie's gradual acceptance of her magical heritage creates a compelling character arc across the series as she learns to integrate her supernatural gifts with her everyday life. E.J. Copperman's Haunted Guesthouse Mysteries star recently divorced Allison Kirby, who gains the ability to see ghosts after a head injury. Her reluctant partnership with the spirits inhabiting her guest house creates both comedic situations and investigative advantages, as her ghostly assistants can observe things the living cannot. Nancy Warren's Vampire Knitting Club features Lucy Swift, who inherits her grandmother's knitting shop and its undead knitting circle. Lucy's journey from ordinary English woman to a comfortable supernatural community member drives character development and mystery plots. What makes paranormal, cozy protagonists particularly interesting is how they balance extraordinary abilities with ordinary challenges. They might be able to cast spells or speak with spirits, but they still worry about paying bills, maintaining friendships, and finding love, just like their readers. Many cozy protagonists share certain traits, regardless of whether they inhabit paranormal or conventional worlds. They're often independent thinkers who question authority when necessary. They value community while maintaining some degree of outsider perspective that helps them see what others miss. They combine empathy with analytical thinking, understanding both human psychology and factual evidence. The emotional growth of cozy protagonists across a series represents one of the genre's greatest pleasures. In my cozy mysteries, I deliberately create challenges that push my heroines to confront fears, develop new skills, or reconsider assumptions. This evolution keeps characters fresh across multiple books, while giving readers the satisfaction of watching someone they care about grow and thrive. Well, my dear listeners, I hope this exploration of cozy mystery protagonists has illuminated why we fall in love with these everyday heroes and heroines who guide us through both puzzling crimes and charming communities. Whether they're bakers or librarians, gardeners or witches, these characters invite us into their worlds with warmth, wit, and wisdom that keeps us coming back book after book. This is Victoria L.K. Williams, signing off from Sun, Sand, and Stories. Until next time, remember that in cozy mysteries, as in life, the seemingly ordinary people often accomplish the most extraordinary things when guided by curiosity, compassion, and courage.